The difference between me and everybody else is I give away so much free stuff that I make people that charge $10,000 look stupid. My free stuff is more valuable than anybody's paid stuff. My paid stuff is indescribable. When you actually meet one of my students and you say, is it worth what you paid? They will say, I feel like Pace paid me. If you want to learn real estate, where's a like-minded community? Where does that exist?
Seminars?
That's not a community, that's a seminar. Those people paid to be in a room that they all disband and they go away, right? Where's the reconnection? The reconnection. Where's the meetups? Where people going on dates and double dates and hanging out with each other and doing meetups and going on appointments with each other? Where's that happening? I don't know. That's called a following or an audience. I wouldn't call that a community. All right, community is somebody I can go, oh, I have a problem on a piece of real estate. I have a seller suing me for whatever problem, that I could go into a community and go, who has had this problem and can help me solve this problem? And somebody actually doesn't just say, hey, I can help you point in the right direction. They actually get on the phone with you and help you solve the actual problem. That's a community. The difference between me and everybody else is I give away so much free stuff that I make people that charge $10,000 look stupid. My free stuff is more valuable than anybody's paid stuff. My paid stuff is indescribable. When you actually meet one of my students and you say, is it worth what you paid? They will say, I feel like Pace paid me. I actually thank that guy Peter that stabbed me in the back, because that was something that drove me to go and build something that didn't exist in the real estate community. And when you go ask anybody else that's a coach or a mentor or whatever else, they're all just trying to copy me. But they're thinking about it from a monetization standpoint. They're like, I want to do what Pace is doing so I can make more money. What a lot of people don't know about my coaching program is I don't make $1 off my coaching program. If I went and showed you my office, we have 92 employees that run that community. 92 employees that run that community, and I have a partner that takes all the money. I set up an agreement with Josiah. So this is what happens. I come home right here on Elliott. There's a gas station right here. So check this out. So I come home from that Denver trip, and I had this thing. I go, you know what? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start doing free ride-alongs. People knew me as their free ride-along guy. Ironically, that you're getting a ride-along with me. So what I did is I came home, and I didn't have a big following. And I started posting on Instagram stories, and I said, hey, who wants to go hang out with me while I go visit my properties and see my private money lenders and go lock up houses and talk to my attorney and be in meetings with me, just full open door. What do I do all day long? I said, meet me Saturday, 6 o'clock at Circle K. This many people shows up. But again, I'm not a bitch. So what do? I take screenshots of me selfie style with my car in the background. I go, man, the people that showed up today are getting so much value. And I just faked it. Next thing you know, people are DMing me going, and I have like 300 followers, like not a lot. And they go, dude, oh my gosh, I had no idea you were doing this. I'm like, I posted about it for 2 days, but I learned a lot of lesson in life. Not everybody's checking social media all the time and checking my stories. The following week, I do it again. I go, Saturday, 6 a.m., Circle K, 3 people show up. Debbie Lou, Scott Garcia, and Tim Smith. Debbie Lou is one of my biggest private money lenders still to this day. Scott Garcia retired as a millionaire. He was a high school wrestling teacher. Yep, and check this out. He went and stayed, I don't know why he did this, but one of my buddies on July 7th sends me a text message, a screenshot of a text message. This is like 3 months ago. It gives me chills even to talk about this. This was a text message thread he had going with Scott Garcia. Scott Garcia stayed at Jeff's Airbnb in July, and Scott Garcia, obviously he's one of my students, so he follows me on social media. He's seen me hanging out with Jeff, who's one of my friends. Scott texts Jeff and he says, oh my gosh, you're Jeff, Pace's friend. Jeff replies and goes, yeah, that's weird, how do you know Pace? So Scott says, they got me started in real estate after I did a free ride-along with Pace 4 years ago. Now I have 17 properties, a rehab center, and I made $1 million last year. Dude, look at my skin. It's giving me goosebumps. You know how many people I've done this for? Thousands. Not hundreds, thousands of people. It is endless amounts of people I've done this for. And so he says, I was a high school teacher, broke, 6 kids, could barely feed them. And he says, Pace showed me how to live a dream life. And he's sitting here texting Jeff. So Jeff sends me a screenshot and he goes, I'm proud to be your friend, dude. Like the fact that you've done this for so many people. That was from a free ride along. Scott Garcia, Debbie Lou, she's still one of my big private money lenders. she found her avenue. Her avenue was like, I don't want to be a deal finder. I want to be a private money lender, because a private money lender, different avatar, right? She had 300 grand, that's all she had. I know that's a lot of money for a lot of people. 10 years ago, that was a lot of money for me too. But she had 300 grand and she's like, I don't want to find deals. I don't want to knock doors. I don't want to call sellers. What can I do? I'm like, Debbie, be a private money lender. You get money every month. It's the easiest job ever. And so Debbie Lou, you know, she's made a lot of money and she's inserted herself into people's deals. I could teach you guys about that later today. So that was my first ride along with 3 people, Debbie Lou, Scott Garcia, and Tim Smith. Tim Smith, he ended up going and buying a business creative. He's like, I don't want to be in real estate, but I taught him how to buy a business creative finance. He bought a company that was doing wraps for cars. Nice. And he just walked into, he's like, how do I structure the paperwork? How do I do this? And now he's like the biggest guy that does the most wraps in the East Valley. That was the first 3 people I ever taught. And I was like, damn, I got a gift. The next week, now what's going on is I take screenshots and selfies with actual people that I'm in the car with. And so it'd be like me right now doing a story with you and going, hey guys, if you want to ask me a question, ask Kelly. And what they were doing is they were DMing Debbie and DMing Scott while I'm on this ride along and going, is Pace really taking you on a ride along? They're like, yeah, what question do you have? So I would go, I didn't have a video team or a YouTube channel, didn't have any of that stuff. So the following week I do it again. 63 people show up at Circle K at 6 o'clock in the morning. And then I'm like, I'm on to something. So yes, I use social media to then start building a community, but what happened is Circle came out and they're like, you can't do this here, dude. Like, this looks like a gang fight at 6 o'clock in the morning. And they were like, break this up, you gotta get out of here. We broke it up and I started just holding it at our Mesa office every Friday. I just started doing a meetup and ordering a taco truck, and I would just whiteboard for 12, 14 hours, just teaching people. I had a partner come to me named Josiah, and Josiah comes to me. We'd been doing a lot of deals together. That's the beautiful thing about real estate, is that so many people can make money on the same transaction. And so Josiah comes to me and goes, you should be a coach. You're one of the greatest teachers I've ever seen. I was like, I'll never be a coach. I've had bad experiences with coach. I never want to be a coach. And he goes, why? And I go, because I don't want to take people's money. I don't want to be in that world. And he's like, well, let me break something down for you. You see all these people that you're teaching for free? The likelihood of them committing to being successful is significantly lower if they have not committed financially. If they haven't made a commitment to actually pay a part of something that they earned or they worked for. And I was like, wow, okay. And I go, what if we set something up where you do exactly what I want? I want to build a community. And you take all the money that comes in from it and you just do whatever I want. You build a massive team and you take the profits. I don't want to have anything to do with it. He's like, how are you going to make money? I go, if I'm successful at teaching people how to buy real estate, don't you think I should just be buying real estate with the people that are finding the deals? And he goes, okay, if that is really what you want to do. And so I set up SubTo, my community, that way. And in the last 3 years, I've bought about $125 million of my real estate just from doing deals with my students. And so I set up a community, and this all came from somebody stabbing me in the back. When you're like, I need help with this. Guess what? My students don't really call me that often. I'm on Zooms with them all the time, but they don't really call me. They work with each other. I think today you guys will meet one of my students named Wes Grant. He's a retired police officer. He joined my community a year ago, and he's done 80 deals in the last year. All of his deals came from where? Inside the community. 100% of the deals he's done, he's never had to call a seller, negotiate with a seller, go build a big team, and he just does deals with other students. So you can talk to him tonight.
So is it non-SubTo students bringing SubTo students deals and asking for help, and then everybody is in on the deal?
I call them the baby elephants, right? So what I did is about a year ago, I go, all right, I think my community is ready to lead the industry. And so I started the Elephant Challenge. And so I have a free Facebook group with 120,000 members in it. And I've always had an equation of every 10 people that join my Facebook group, then I'll allow one person to join SubTo. So it's constantly throttled. So my free Facebook group always has 10 times more people that need help than my community actually has in trained people. So that way, as a trained person, you have 10 people to help in the free community to go do deals with. So every month I do a free challenge for the free Facebook group that, you know, we get sometimes 3, 4, 5,000 people on that challenge. I show them how to go generate leads and how to go submit offers, but they don't know, like in 3 days, you can't learn everything, right? So then what do? You go link in with my trained students, and my trained students love on you, they help you, they fill in your gaps, and they do deals with you. I won't do a deal with a non-student. So people come to me and go, hey, I have a deal. I'm like, I won't even look at it. You're not a student. Go work with my students. Go work with Kevin. Go work with Ingrid. Go work with whoever, blah, 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 blah. The free Facebook group is meant for people that are like, your mentorship is expensive. Great, go to my free Facebook group. Go to my free YouTube. My students will help you go get your first deal, your second deal, your third deal. But again, the biggest problem in everything is people's level of consistency and understanding that things take a really long time to do.